Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 13 of the Soul Forge podcast. Have I got a treat for you? As you may or may not be aware, back in the end of July, the brothers and I went on our first ever road trip, just the three of us. We went to Cedar Point and did a bunch of things around that area. One of the nights we sat around, and I hadn't released the Soul Forge podcast yet, but I wanted to get some material for it, so the brothers asked me some questions. Curtis is the one that you hear in the clip most often, and Robin does a little tiny bit. And the questions are quite random, actually. They run the gamut from highly personal to pretty inane, mundane, silly. We had a lot of fun, actually. And as the night went on, we actually had more and more to drink, so you should find some amusement out of that. Like I said, some of the questions are kind of personal, and I was surprised at what they asked. And it's been about 2 months since we had that trip, and I was just editing up all the ums and the ahs and the pauses and the breaks and the coughing and all that kind of stuff, so you guys didn't have to hear that. So it's just a little bit over an hour, but it's really fun. It's entertaining. I laughed out loud a few times during it. There are some swears, so you do have to be aware of that. Nothing majorly bad, I don't think. But, I don't know, everybody's sensitive in their own way, so just be aware of that. I do hope you enjoy it, and it just kind of ends abruptly, actually, at the end. So, I think we were tired, and we had too much to drink, and we had to get up early to go home the next day. So, it is what it is. Oh, I hate that expression, by the way. But it is. It's there. It's for you. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get some insight, and have a great listening experience.
If you could be anywhere in the world at this very moment, where would you choose to be?
I'm right where I want to be. I'm with my brothers on a road trip. I couldn't possibly think of any place I'd rather be than this right now.
What is your favorite toothpaste?
I use Crest Cool Mint Gel.
If you were a truck driver, specifically, if you were a garbage man, would you drive the truck or would you pick up the trash, and why?
I would prefer to drive the truck because it's air conditioned and I wouldn't have to smell the bad smells.
What is your deepest regret?
My deepest regret? That's a tough one. Because realistically, I shouldn't regret anything because all my life choices brought me to be the person that I am now. But I also see it from a different angle and saying, you know what, maybe the person that I am now would be better if I didn't have such regrets. So, my deepest, darkest regret is,
So instead of your deepest, darkest regret, which is very vague, what is your deepest financial regret?
My deepest financial regret would be getting a joint bank account with Lynn.
And why is that a regret?
Because she was 4 years older than me, so naturally I assumed she had my best interests at heart, but she did not, and because I trusted her so much with the finances and handling the bills and whatnot, I ended up having to declare bankruptcy, so that's a big regret financially.
What is your deepest purchasing regret?
My deepest purchasing regret? Probably buying the car with her.
What kind of car was this?
If memory serves, it was a brand new 2002 Chevy Cavalier. The only good thing that came out of that was that it was a standard, and Lynn taught me how to drive standard.
Excellent.
That was the yellow one, correct?
That was the yellow car, yeah.
If you could have asked somebody out, who would it have been? Who do you regret not asking out?
That might be Janet from first year university.
Janet from first year university. Can you describe Janet from first year university?
Yeah, she was a how best to describe her? She was eclectic, bohemian, very relaxed, cool chick, smart and funny, and friendly.
And what stopped you from asking her out?
I was 19 and shy, and she was super cool, and I felt like a geek.
Do you think she would have said yes had you asked her out?
I have absolutely no idea.
How would you have asked her out?
I have no idea. That's why I didn't ask her out.
What is the worst date that you took a girl on?
There was one time when I wore a leather vest and went to Casey's and had a date with this girl, and from the inside pocket of the vest I brought out a candle holder and a candle and lit it right in the restaurant, and they turned the lights down for me. I don't know if that was a bad date, but it was certainly embarrassing.
Did she like it?
She smiled.
Did you have another date with this girl?
We had one more date.
And where did you take her on that date?
The second date, she made dinner at her house.
And why didn't you see her after that?
Because I called her the next day, and she said, I don't think we should see each other anymore. And I said, that's funny, I was calling to say the same thing, even though I wasn't.
Okay. What did that do for your psyche?
It was first year university. It was the first week. It didn't really do anything.
Excellent. What was your best date?
Probably my best date was when I took the mother of my son, Trish, before we had kids. It was we had just started dating, took her for Valentine's Day, and we went for dinner, we went for a movie, and then we came back, and I had prearranged for her sister to throw rose petals from the top stairs all the way down into the basement apartment where Trish lived, and all the way to the bedroom with candles burning. And we had wine and a nice romantic evening.
That sounds pretty romantic.
It was very romantic.
Describe your perfect woman.
My perfect woman. Well, she has to be breathing. No, but seriously, my perfect woman, geez, that's a good question. It's not a good question.
Your ideal woman.
My ideal woman.
Your idea of the perfect woman for you.
The perfect woman for me. Okay, let me think here. For me, the perfect woman would be, if I'm going to go just idealized here, probably about 5'8", long, thick brown hair, curvaceous, similar look to, say, Selena Gomez. I like that kind of look. And let's say that not only is she smart and funny with a good head on her shoulders, she's financially stable, she has a direction in life, she's kind and she's caring and she's considerate, but she also knows what she wants and is a take charge kind of lady.
What's the nicest thing you've ever done for somebody selflessly?
Selflessly?
Selflessly.
The nicest thing that I've ever done for someone.
Yes. Where you expected nothing else in return. You did it out of the goodness of your heart.
I once stopped on the side of the road for a guy who had flattened his tire and drove him an hour out of my way so he could get it fixed.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this?
This was years ago on the way to Sudbury.
What teacher influenced you the most?
My grade 10 and grade 13 English teacher, Mr. Wilson. He encouraged writing and free thinking and doing things your own way.
I had Mr. Wilson, and I can vouch for that. I really enjoyed him as well.
Yeah, you would have had him. That's true.
I did have him. He was excellent.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Wilson.
Appreciate it, buddy.
The best story or poem you've written.
Best story or poem I have ever written. Well, I don't have the list in front of me. I don't have the poems here because we're 9 hours from home.
But what was it about?
What was it about? I know that Mom really liked the Strangers in the Rain poem.
Yes, she did.
So since that was her favorite, I'll say that was my best. And it was about two people who were lonely and looking for love and passing each other in the night and brushing up against each other but not meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And I did an ode to Strangers in the Rain where they actually do meet. I know you didn't care for that. But Mom always wanted them to meet, so I made sure they did. If you had another minute with Mom, what would you say?
That's tough. I would tell her that I love her and that she's needed and she's necessary, and not pretty much not to kill herself, because we were at her funeral. We saw all the people that she touched that she had no idea. So yeah, I would I would basically convince her to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you would do the same.
Absolutely. What's your favorite deodorant?
My favorite deodorant?
Your favorite deodorant?
I use Gillette. I don't care the flavor.
Gillette. Is it gel? Is it the white stuff?
Oh, it's definitely the gel.
The gel? You still go with the gel?
I still go with the gel. The classic.
The classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. You don't care the smell or the brand, whatever.
No.
As long as it's Gillette.
As long as it's Gillette gel, that's what I go for.
Excellent. How often do you shave?
Well, if I have my shaving paraphernalia with me, which I haven't had for a week, probably every second or third day.
You've grown a beard recently.
Yes.
How's your feeling towards this beard?
Sometimes I love it, and sometimes I want to get rid of it.
What makes you want to get rid of your beard?
Because sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself and it looks all unkempt.
Kempt?
Unkempt.
Unkempt.
Unruly.
Unruly.
It looks like crap.
Okay. What's the longest you've ever grown a full beard?
This might be it, actually. This is 2 months of growth. 2 months of growth. I did take 8 months one time and grow a goatee, and that looked pretty silly.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Please never do that again. Recently, you saw your doppelganger.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
All right. So it was the other day. We were at the park at Cedar Point, and the three of us were walking along, the three brothers, and Robin said, "Hey, that guy looks like you," and I turned over and I looked. That guy does look like me. So he said, "Go ask him to take a picture of you with him." And I'm like, "I don't think I can do that." And he was walking away. And I was like, "You know what? I got to do this." So I did. I said, "Excuse me, this is going to sound weird, but they think we look the same, and we should take a picture together." And he was game, and they looked quite happy, and so we took the picture. It was weird. He was taller.
And after you reviewed the picture,
Yeah.
do you feel like you look like him?
Similar. There's a 90% resemblance. Our eyes aren't the same, but
Right. And how was that? How did that make you feel?
well, they say everybody has a twin, right?
Right.
So maybe that was mine. Pretty friggin' close.
It was very close. Absolutely. What's your favorite popcorn? Like, how do you take your popcorn? What's your favorite way of having your popcorn?
Nice and buttery.
Nice and buttery?
Yeah,
Do you have salt on there or just mostly buttery?
mostly buttery.
Is it from the movie theater? Is it home popped?
It's you know what? Whatever popcorn's in front of me, I'll eat.
You just like your popcorn.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Do you have a favorite food?
Mom's cabbage rolls.
What comes in second to the cabbage rolls?
Second to cabbage rolls, eh? Cherry cheesecake.
No bake or
Just good cherry cheesecake.
just good cherry cheesecake?
I don't care how they make it, as long as it tastes good.
All right. The best place you've ever had cherry cheesecake?
Dad's house. His ex-girlfriend made a really great cherry cheesecake.
Which ex-girlfriend?
Della Marie.
Okay. Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Your career choice.
Yeah.
Honest thoughts on it.
I would have to say that every decision I have ever made in my life has been the wrong one.
That includes your current career choice?
I'm a mailman.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could do it all over again and had any career to choose,
Yeah.
What would you do?
I would probably go back to school right out of high school and become an electrician.
Electrician.
Yeah.
What does the electrician lifestyle appeal to you?
Well, I could do stuff in my house, make it how I want, and I would know exactly what I'm doing. Because I have a house right now, and it needs some electrical work, and I have not the slightest idea of how to even begin.
So if you knew electrical work
Yeah.
and your house had no electrical problems,
Mm-hmm.
is that the same career choice that you would make?
Yeah.
So it's not out of current need.
No.
It's out of
No. It's either electrician or carpenter.
or carpenter. So you feel like you wish you could be a handyman.
Yeah. Yeah, because we come from a long line of people who know how to do things. And you and I, we don't know how to do stuff.
I actually know how to do a decent amount of stuff.
Don't say that on here.
Sorry. Apologies. Yeah, I really wish I knew how to do more.
Exactly.
What would be your preferred mode of transportation? Like, what's your favorite car, truck, SUV type of thing?
I would like a muscle car from the 70s.
Muscle car from the 70s.
Probably a 71 Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger.
Or,
Excellent
or a
choice.
Challenger. Actually, Challenger. A 1971 Dodge Challenger. Purple.
Purple.
Yeah. Remember when I was a kid, all I ever wanted was a purple car.
It's true. What would you do to your purple car? Would you have anything on the outside of it?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Not a classic.
All right. That's good. That's good. What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever put on your vehicle?
Oh, that would be the 1992 Dodge Caravan that I had. I painted fluorescent green and pink I painted fluorescent pink hubcaps, fluorescent green trim, and then I hand painted flames on it, and it was horrible. I have poor impulse control.
I was going to ask you what made you do that.
Trish was pregnant, and I was bored one day, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go outside and paint the van." And she was like, "Okay," so I did, because I get bored, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I do things. That's part of my problem.
What year did you move to Timmins?
2003.
If you hadn't moved to Timmins, where do you think you would be now?
I would still probably be in North Bay.
What was it about North Bay that appealed to you?
Well, that's where I went to school for university, and it has a nice atmosphere. It's right on a lake. It's an educated city. It's the gateway to the north and the gateway to the south.
What do you mean it's an educated city?
Well, it's a university town and a college town, and I knew the people that were into that kind of thing. I'm sure all kinds of cities are educated, but I was connected. I was plugged into that.
If you could go back and go to university at Algoma University, would you?
In our hometown of Sault Ste. Marie, probably not.
Why not?
Because I think it's a wise idea for a young man just starting out in his adult life to go to a different town and experience different cities and different cultures, different ways of living.
Just a young man?
Anybody. But I was a young man. I can't speak for women.
That's fair.
But they should probably do that too.
Okay. What's your shoe size?
13.
13.
Used to be 12, but I think they make them smaller now.
Do you have trouble finding shoes that fit well?
Yeah, usually.
Do you have a high arch or a low arch?
I have no idea.
You've never checked? You've never noticed?
Nope.
Okay. What is the most amount of weight you've ever bench pressed?
I don't lift weights. So, probably not much.
You've never lifted weights with friends?
Yeah, and I've gone to the gym a couple times, but
But you don't know what you benched?
no, I have no idea. Let's probably say 750 pounds.
Let's probably say that would crush you. But great. In high school, you were part of the chess team.
I was part of the chess club.
Were you the captain of the chess club?
No, I was just one of the guys.
What was your best match?
I don't remember. That was over 20 years ago.
Did you really enjoy that time in your life?
I hated high school.
Did you enjoy doing chess?
It was something to do at lunch.
Were you good?
I was probably medium.
If you were sports inclined, I know you're not. What sport would you have played in high school? Going back.
Going back to high school, I would probably play baseball.
Baseball. Okay. And if baseball wasn't an option in high school?
Probably basketball.
Probably basketball. All right. Did you ever play basketball?
I have played basketball.
And
Not very well, mind you.
not very well. All right. What is it about sports that turns you off?
You know, I've often thought of that, and I don't really know what I don't like about sports. I just don't care for them. It could be because our stepfather was all about the sports, and he was mean, and so anything that he liked, I did not.
So you think you became anti-sport for rebellious purposes?
Sounds about right.
Okay. Have you ever been to a pig roast?
Yeah, several.
Do you like pig roasts?
It's been over 30 years since I've been to a pig roast, but I remember having fun.
What was the most enjoyable part of the last 3 days?
Ooh. The most enjoyable part of the last 3 days was probably seeing Garbage live in concert.
What was excellent about that experience?
Seeing Shirley Manson live on stage and seeing that she still could belt it out and that she actually seemed excited for the show. And so her enthusiasm spread through the crowd like wildfire, and everybody was excited and rocking, and so were we.
If you could go back 30 years, maybe even 35 years.
So when I was 5 or 10 years old?
Yeah. And tell your dad one thing, what would it be?
Stop playing the victim.
And what do you mean by stop playing the victim?
Stop blaming everybody else for your own problems. Take responsibility.
And how do you think that would have helped you?
It wouldn't. I was 5 years old, and he would say, "Yeah, you'll be all right."
All right. Go back to when you're 20 years old.
All right.
If
20
there's
years.
one thing you could say to your father, what would it be?
Stop playing the victim.
And do you think he would have listened?
No, I would have been a 20-year-old kid. He wouldn't have cared. And I'm 40, and I could tell him the same thing, and he still wouldn't listen.
Okay. Go back to when you're 15.
All right.
What would you tell your mom?
Buy stocks in Apple.
Okay. What is your favorite pop?
Probably Orange Crush.
Orange Crush. Okay. What is your favorite candy bar?
Ooh. I have several. My favorite, since there can be only one favorite.
There can be only one.
I am going to say... I can't narrow it down, Curtis.
You have to narrow it down.
Oh, if I could only have one candy bar, one chocolate bar, I would have to pick Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. Excellent choice. You are stranded on an island, and you have unlimited food, but only 3 types of food. Only 3 food choices.
3 food choices
for
on
the
this.
rest of your life. This is all you can eat. What are those 3 food items?
Subs,
What kind of sub?
turkey bacon ranch.
Turkey bacon ranch. What is on it?
I'm going to have spinach. I'm going to have matzo cheese. I'm going to have green olives, green pepper, onions, salt and pepper.
What kind of onions?
What do you mean, what kind of onions?
White onions or red onions?
Well, whatever they have there. White onions, I guess. I think they have red, don't they?
They do have red as
Then
well.
the red onions is what I'm going to pick. And then I'm going to pick honey mustard sauce. I'm going to have salt and pepper. And I'm going to have Parmesan cheese on it.
Sounds like a pretty good sub to eat the rest of your life.
Right?
Your next piece of food.
My next piece of food would be, let's go with Meat Lover's Pizza.
Okay. What meat?
You have to have ground beef and bacon and pepperoni.
Okay. And your third and final item.
My third and final item would be something that is not bread-like. So let's go with, I don't know. What else do I like? Oh man, I can only pick 2. I've only got 2. Cabbage rolls.
Cabbage rolls. Excellent. What is your number 1 pizza topping?
Green olives.
How much do you weigh?
I think around 210 pounds.
What is your ideal weight?
185.
Why are you not 185?
Because I like chocolate.
What is your favorite chocolate? Not chocolate bar. Your favorite chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Any particular brand?
I really like Lind chocolate. Lind, whatever.
If you could name yourself anything, what would it be? Would you stick with Sean, or would you...
No, Sean is not a very strong name. So I would have something like Kirk.
Kirk?
But not that name. I don't really like that name. But something like that. You know what I mean? Like something.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Something
you.
with a strong name, not like a shh, more like a. But I haven't figured out what it is. You think that's funny? I know you do.
I really do.
But something. You know what also would be nice? Maybe a 2-syllable name where it could be shortened. You know what I mean? Like.
Like Curtis, where it could be Kurt.
Exactly. Yes.
I see where you're going with
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
When I was young, I always wanted to be Mike.
Mike. Michael or Mike.
Yeah.
And now when you're older, you wouldn't do that?
No, that's too common of a name.
Too common.
Yeah. Call me Sven.
Sven.
Sven Gali, but Sven for short. I don't know.
All right. Who's your all-time hero?
My all-time hero. Well, everything I learned about love, I learned from Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation, so he might be my hero.
Okay.
But I also wanted to be Bo Duke from The Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid.
Why Bo Duke and not Luke Duke?
Bo was cooler.
What made Bo cooler?
Probably the blonde hair and the yellow shirt. And he was taller.
Who was your first crush?
My first crush was Adele in grade... she was 5 years old. And I was 5 years old. My first crush was Adele in kindergarten.
Okay. If I can go back to Grove Crescent,
Yes.
I believe there was a girl named Shauna that you liked.
Shauna Golden. No, we were enemies.
You were enemies?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. What's your proudest accomplishment in life?
Besides having my son?
Sure. So having your son is a proud accomplishment.
Yes.
So give me the top 3 proudest accomplishments.
Okay. I don't have any accomplishments that I'm proud of.
Well, you said your son is one.
Well, yes.
You've purchased your own home.
Yes. So besides my son, I would have to say picking myself up after losing the love of my life and not giving up, not moving back to the Sioux when I could have easily done so, but instead I stayed in Timmins. I bought my own house. I'm financially independent, so that's something to be proud of.
Okay. Who is the love of your life?
Well, I thought it was Bridget, because I married her. So, and I always said one and done, and she was everything that I had been looking for, and it fell apart for whatever reason. So,
The top 3 reasons you think it fell apart with Bridget.
poor communication,
On whose part?
both, because we could talk for hours about absolutely anything, but when it really came to what mattered, we both ignored it, and hoped it would get better or something. So that's one thing. Top 3 reasons why it didn't work.
Right.
Okay, poor communication. Well, that's pretty much what it boils down to. There aren't 3 reasons.
So if you would have communicated better, you think it could have worked?
Yeah, I think so. And a little bit of more honesty with each other.
Honesty.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you should have told her?
How important she was. And what she meant.
So you don't feel like you opened up enough?
Oh, I opened up quite a bit, but when it was all falling apart, we just kind of let it happen. We both did, and we've talked about this since. And it makes no sense. It was like we were 2 people working on autopilot. Yeah.
Do you feel like that was something that was between the 2 of you, or was it external factors influencing you?
Well, if Mom hadn't have died, I would not have shut down. And a few months after Mom passed, her parents split up, and she wanted sympathy, but I couldn't give it to her because I was still hurting, and all she wanted was the sympathy. And so our communication broke down. And
So very much external factors played into it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And possibly you weren't together long enough, so the strong formed bond wasn't there yet?
Our coping mechanisms weren't up to par.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you feel you are in the grieving process of your mother?
Well, I've accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about it too much, I still get a little bit upset. And I'm still sad about it. So, I don't know. What does that tell you? Where am I?
I think wherever you are is where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. It's been 3 years.
It has been 3 years. Does it get easier?
Well, I don't think about it every day like I used to. But is it easy? No, it's not easy.
No.
No.
Do you still sometimes wish you could pick up the phone and call her?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, every like on a Sunday afternoon, it'll be like, "Hi, I'd like to talk to Mom right now."
If you could call her up and tell her something that you wanted her to know, what would it be since she's passed?
That I'm doing okay. Yeah, that I'm doing okay. There's been some rough go here and there, but things are coming along.
What is your all-time favorite Star Trek episode?
Parallels, season 7, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
What is your all-time favorite Star Trek character?
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite character
I
from
don't have
Star
a favorite
Trek?
character. No,
Okay. Do you have a favorite character from Star Wars?
not particularly.
Do you have a favorite race from Star Trek?
I really like the Pakleds.
Can you tell me about the Pakleds?
I can tell you about the Pakleds. They were only in one episode, and they were really, really dumb. And they looked for things that made them go.
We are far from home.
Aren't we all? But you sent out a mayday?
Uh-huh.
Do you need help?
We are Pakleds. Our ship is the Mondor. It is broken. We are far from home. We need help. We look for things.
What were you looking for?
Things we need.
Can you be more specific?
Things that make us go. We need help.
What is the nature of your mission?
We look for things.
You can make us go. You are smart. We look for things. Things that make us go. You can make us go. It's just a really fun episode.
Okay.
With really fun characters. One-off characters.
Excellent. Favorite Star Wars movie?
I like The Empire Strikes Back the best because it has the first appearance of AT-ATs, and I love AT-ATs. That would be all-terrain armored transports to you, the ones that look like big walking elephants.
Right. And what is about the AT-ATs that you like so much?
I don't know. I just love them. They're my favorite. They're my favorite space vehicle. I just love them.
Okay.
That's it.
Favorite comic book character?
Iron Man.
What is it about Iron Man?
Just always liked Iron Man. Don't know why. I don't really have reasons for things.
Have you ever thought about why you don't have reasons for things?
I have thought about this.
And what have you come up to?
I haven't come up with any answers.
Do you feel like you can self-reflect well, or do you just kind of go about your day?
I tend to self-reflect fairly well, but I don't always come to conclusions because a lot of things just don't make sense to me.
What's the biggest mystery of life to you?
Oh God. Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Why are we here?
What's the biggest mystery about yourself?
Why do I have poor impulse control?
And what makes you say you have poor impulse control?
Because sometimes I do things I shouldn't.
Like what? What are the three biggest things that you?
Oh, don't ask me this.
Yeah, I'm asking you. What are the three biggest things that you shouldn't have done because of poor impulse?
I shouldn't have left Trish
Why should you not left Trish?
because she was a very good person and was good for me, and we were growing as a couple and we had a kid together, but for whatever reason I felt like our time was done, and we've talked about it, and she also feels like our time was done. Like she felt more like a mother figure to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's she said she felt more like my mom. And now when we talk and we're hanging out, it's like, yeah, she's like my sister or something. But I don't know. I regret splitting up with her because that left Bishop without a father in his house every day, much like we were left without a father in our house every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that wasn't good.
I know I asked for top three, but I've gone on a new train of thought.
All right.
Do you find that you are submissive in most of your relationships? Do you play the submissive person? Because from the outside, it looks that way. Would you agree with that perception?
Yeah, I tend to let other people be in charge.
And why do you want other people to be in charge?
I don't necessarily think I want other people to be in charge, But I'm not necessarily confident in my decisions all the time, and I always think everybody else has it figured out, and I don't. So I figure I should let them take charge because they must know what they're doing.
And where does this lack of confidence originate from?
Probably not having a strong fatherly influence in my life. Maybe it's because I just don't care enough either.
And I'd like to explore that more.
Okay.
Why don't you care about a lot of things?
You know what? I don't know if it's that I don't care or if I don't think that it doesn't matter or what it is exactly. It's just, you know what? If people need to have their own way, I'm not going to fight them.
But why don't you want to have your own way?
I don't need it.
But what about if it's something you're passionate about?
Well, then I'll fight for it.
What are you passionate about?
We had this joke all along the street. I'm passionate about architecture. I'm passionate about classic vehicles.
But what are you actually passionate about in life?
What am I actually passionate
about? What do you really want to strive for that maybe you haven't gone for so far, or something that you're leading towards?
Becoming the best version of who I am.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not. It's the whole thing behind this podcast.
But that's a bullshit answer.
How so?
Becoming the best person that you possibly can is
vague.
Is too vague.
Yeah, well, all right.
Right? So, what would make you a better person?
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What drives you to wake up in the morning every day?
A fantastic retirement.
Okay, so you talked about your career choice and you don't like it.
Well, that's all right. It's not ideal.
But you settle for it.
Well, yeah, probably.
Why is it okay for you to settle for things?
It's not okay for me to settle for things, but I do it anyway.
But that's what I'm talking about for your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're not passionate about your work, but I don't feel like you're striving to hit your passion.
What I would ultimately do is be a used record store owner, or a comic book shop owner, or a toy store owner. But there's no way that would ever work in Timmins. So what do? I do a job that pays the bills, lets me get ahead a little bit, and I have a pension plan, and so that's all set. So I don't have to worry about my retirement too much.
Do you think you will be a record store owner in your retirement?
That would be ideal.
Do you think you will be?
Well, if it doesn't work in Timmins, it's not going to work in Timmins.
Right. What is going to keep you in Timmins for the rest of your life?
Well, I've thought about this a lot. The thing that's keeping me right now is my son.
Right. Say he turns 20 and goes off to university. Are you staying in Timmins?
Well, my life is there. I've been there for 14 years now. When he's 20, that'll be 9 years from now. I'll be 50. It depends how I feel in 9 years. So I would love to move back to the Sioux where you guys live and get with my buddy Andrew and open up a comic book shop because we've talked about that for like 20 years. So that's an option. But I'll be 50. And will I be super institutionalized by the town of Timmins? I might be. It might be too scary. And I still have 10 years of work left before I can retire. So I don't know.
Now, Timmins is known for the gold mines, or mining in general.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered going into that line of work?
Yeah, I applied there once.
And what happened?
I had an interview, but they didn't hire me.
How'd the interview go?
I guess it went all right, but not good enough because they didn't hire me.
And what was the position for?
I think it was general laborer shoveling crap all day for 12 hours. So I wasn't too sad that I didn't get the job. And I don't really want to work underground because it's pretty dangerous. Lots of people die, and I don't want to. So
that's reasonable.
I wouldn't mind making twice as much as I make right now. But I'm 40 years old. I'm not a young man. I can't do that kind of stuff now. It's too late to start that.
What is the best job you ever had?
Probably the one I'm doing.
Why?
Because I get exercise. I get to meet new and interesting and strange people. I work inside in the morning for a bit and hang out with coworkers and talk to them and laugh. And then I go out and do my job and I get to listen to podcasts for hours.
Who's your favorite coworker?
My favorite coworker? Who is my favorite coworker? I don't know if I have a favorite coworker. I generally don't have favorites of anything.
See that? A coworker that you really enjoy having a conversation with.
Oh, that would probably be Shannon, Aaron, and Chantel.
Are these 3 girls, or is it a mix?
No, those are 3 girls.
3 girls.
They work right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
And we have fun. We flirt and we talk about interesting things. And then there's Ian, and he's a fellow geek and a collector, and we talk about movies and toys.
Now, I noticed when strangers talk to you about geeky stuff,
Yeah.
you kind of shut down.
Do I?
Yes. You just, you don't ask a lot of follow-up questions. Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, because I'm not quick on my feet and I can't think of things to say. Yeah, it takes me a while sometimes. And especially if they ask me questions out of the blue about stuff that I'm not prepared for, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not prepared for this, so I don't say anything. I still feel like I'm 12 years old.
So you would say generally you don't have a ton of confidence.
I would agree with that,
You would agree with
depending on what it is in the
that?
situation.
What are you most confident about?
What kind of question is that?
We know the answer.
What?
Star Trek trivia.
Yeah, I could have a pretty good Star Trek conversation with you.
Mm-hmm. But just general personal characteristics. What's your
Elaborate.
favorite quality about yourself?
What? My favorite quality about myself?
Yeah.
My sense of humor.
Okay.
My charm.
Your charm.
My wit. When I'm on the ball, I'm really on the ball.
Okay.
I'm not always on the ball. But
And what's one thing you would love to change?
being more on the ball. Quick-witted sometimes. Like always knowing what to say, always knowing what the right thing is to say. I don't always. And I can't always come up with a fast answer.
That's
Well,
why I deflect things with puns.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Hmm.
But you got to be very witty for that. It also goes along with the sense of humor, and you have to be quick on your feet,
Mm-hmm.
and not always.
I usually am, but there are times when I get caught off guard,
Absolutely.
and I just shut down and I have no idea what to say.
What's your favorite physical characteristic of yourself?
Your doppelganger that we met.
That's not about me, though.
No.
We talked about that already.
Oh, did we? Oh, shit.
Probably my eyes, because they say a lot without me having to.
Windows to the soul.
They are my windows to my soul, yes.
This is Kitty from Jump City Comics, and you're listening to the Soul Forge podcast. Forge your soul.
So you feel like you're very expressive in your eyes?
Yes, and I've been told that.
By who?
All kinds of people.
And do you believe that?
Yeah, because I can't hide anything. I'm like my mom in that way. Our mom.
Mm-hmm.
We share a mom.
We sure do.
Yes.
We are brothers.
We are.
Do you ever have a conversation with yourself in the mirror with just your eyes?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my eyes know what I'm thinking, so yeah, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way, but yeah.
Man in the mirror type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you look at yourself and you either pump yourself up or talk yourself out of something, that type of deal.
That sounds accurate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's one physical characteristic that you'd like to change?
My baldness. I'd love to have a full, thick head of hair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all suffer from that.
Who is one person in Timmins that you have not dated that you would like to ask out?
Her name is Maxime.
Maxine?
Yeah.
Where does she work?
At a hairdresser's.
What does she look like?
Beautiful.
Elaborate.
She's tall.
How tall?
I don't know. I've never stood up beside her.
Approximately?
5'8", dark brown hair, curvilicious, tattooed.
What kind of tattoos?
I haven't hung around long enough to look.
Where are they?
I don't know. I think they're on her arm. I don't know her that well. She knows Trish. Trish knows her. Trish has always said that I should ask her out. But I deliver the mail to her place of business. And I'll say, hey, how are you? And here's your mail and blah, 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 whatever. But I don't know her enough to have a personal conversation with her. So.
Who is one person in Sault Ste. Marie that you would like to ask out?
I don't know. It's been 20 years since I've lived there, so I can't even think of anybody.
Who's one person in North Bay that you would like to ask out?
Well, it's been 14 years since I've lived there. I don't even really know who's there anymore.
Who on your Facebook friends list would you like to ask out? Not from Timmins.
This is a dangerous question, my friend.
Sure.
I'm going to have to go with Janet again.
Janet again?
Yeah, Janet from First Year University.
Oh?
Yeah.
Tell me more about Janet from First Year University.
What more would you like to know?
What can you tell me about her?
I know that she lives in the Niagara Falls region,
Mm-hmm.
and we could have gone for coffee had she known I was coming.
And what is it about her that keeps you so interested?
Well, I wouldn't say anything that keeps me so interested. It's just, if I could ask anybody out on my list, that would be who it was, because she reminds me of a time of innocence when I was younger and the world hadn't trodden over me yet.
Why do you feel like the world has trodden over you?
Because I let it. Pretty much.
Speaking of being younger, I don't know if you had fielded this question already. What is one of your favorite childhood memory?
One of my favorite childhood memories. We didn't come across that one yet. Probably going to Cedar Point with me and Curtis with our father 25 years ago. That was a good memory. We had a lot of fun there. Hey, brother?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you remember it vividly?
I don't remember anything vividly. I don't have a photographic memory like this guy here, but I remember it well enough. It was fun, and we did the water park, and we had the lazy river, and cousin Mike and I abandoned Curtis and followed all these girls around. So that was fun. That's it. That's all you got?
What do you miss about being a child? Miss about being youthful before you became an adult?
I miss having energy. I'm tired all the time.
Tired blood.
Tired blood, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that.
I don't really remember you ever having...
You don't remember me having energy?
Not a ton. No.
Maybe I never did. I just seem to recall having more energy in my youth.
You may have, but...
All right.
You didn't seem to be, all full of piss and vinegar, as they say. That I can recall.
Yeah, I've always been pretty even-keeled. Nothing gets me too excited.
No.
It's true.
Where and how did you lose your virginity?
Second year university. And how? Well, you know how. I had sex.
Who was it with?
That would be Stephanie.
Was it good?
Not particularly.
Who was bad?
Probably me, because I was nervous and didn't know what I was doing.
The worst thing you've done to someone and didn't feel bad about it.
I'm not going to say who, but one of my exes, as I was leaving, I put cheese in the dryer and turned it on and left.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And I didn't feel bad because she had really screwed me over.
All right. Did you ever hear anything about that?
I never did. But at the same time, I also locked the freezer and threw away the key. I didn't feel bad about that either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was not a good person.
So you can be vindictive when you want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do it often, but in that particular case, she deserved it.
Fair enough. Who is your arch enemy?
I don't have an arch enemy.
No, you never had somebody in high school that just picked on you all the time, or?
Oh yeah, I got picked on all the time in high school.
Is there a particular person that bothered you the most?
Let me think. It's hard to remember back then because I've blocked all that out. But there was a guy named Brian who I couldn't stand.
Uh-huh.
And
What did Brian used to do to you?
I can't think of anything in particular. He was just a harasser.
Just a tormentor?
Yeah.
Yeah. A fantasy that you've never shared with someone.
Fantasy I've never shared with anyone.
Well, this could get good.
2 women? I've shared that. I would really like to be an astronaut. I've never told anybody that. I would like to be one of those Mars colonizers.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Colonizers in the farming sense or in the having sex with other women colonizing sense?
I just want to be a pioneer on Mars.
Pioneer on Mars.
Yeah, like the Wild West, but in Mars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What is a sexual fantasy that you've had, or you just haven't had the courage to tell your sexual partners?
I'm pretty open when it comes to that. So, yeah, if there's something that I want to do or I'm interested in, I will tell them. I haven't necessarily done everything, and I don't necessarily want to, but yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about that with them.
Okay. Besides Stephanie being your first sexual experience, what's your worst sexual experience?
Oh, besides that one,
Yes.
probably trying to do it in a small car. Yeah, it doesn't really work in a small car with two big people. So no, that was bad.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2002 Chevy Cavalier.
What color?
It was yellow.
Did this have anything to do with that brick of cheese?
Same person.
Did she destroy your financial credit?
As a matter of fact, it did.
What's the most benign thing you're afraid of?
The dark.
What is it about the dark?
I don't know. I've
I
always.
find that hard to believe
Why?
because you cannot sleep
With lights on?
with any source of light, whether it be a digital clock, a red light from a phone charger, to any minuscule thing. So how can you be afraid of the dark, yet have to sleep in complete darkness?
Because as long as I am well cocooned in my bed and nothing can reach and get me, I am okay. And as long as there are lights on when I come up come up from the basement, if there are kitchen lights on, I am okay. But I'm always looking behind me. It's irrational, but it scares me.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I would like to investigate that deeper.
Let's not.
What's the most valuable thing you've stolen?
Hearts. I've stolen some hearts. You don't like that?
No.
Is that too cheesy for
That's
you?
way too cheesy.
I don't steal things.
Okay, I asked what's the most valuable thing you've stolen, and I know you used to steal at least Tim Hortons cups. And mugs
Okay,
and
yes, right, yes, okay. All right. Cutlery and flatware. No, what is that called? What are plates called?
shit. Flour. No,
That's knives and forks.
yeah.
And so is cutlery. Crockery from donut shops, like Tim Hortons cups and plates.
That's the worst.
Yes.
That's the most valuable.
Yes.
All right. Your deepest heartache, the one who got away.
The one who got away. That could be Sherry.
No, you dated Sherry.
We did. We dated for a year and a half.
And what ended that relationship?
I broke up with her because she wasn't who I had built up in my mind.
And you regret that now?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because we were good together, but I was too young to appreciate it.
I believe you recently had a lunch date with Sherry.
Yes, actually, we drove through the Niagara region where she now lives, and I stopped in for 45 minutes to catch up. I haven't seen her in like a decade and a half.
Did that increase the heartache? Or did it confirm your original decision to break up with her?
No, it was just nice to see her.
So you're good either way now with that?
Yeah, lot of water under the bridge.
What's your favorite sex toy, and why should others buy it or try it?
I don't know. I've never had a sex toy. What's your favorite?
Well, you put this one on that.
What?
You replied this one to the...
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, right? Yeah, I actually don't have a sex toy.
The Knuckle Fucker 5000.
There you go.
What is your most American Pie moment? Are you afraid to shit in public? Could we call you shitbrick? Have you ever had a Stifler's mom experience?
I had a crush on a lady who was 20 years older than me.
A crush?
Mm-hmm. And I tried to pursue things, but nothing happened.
Why?
Because I'm incompetent.
Why would you say you're incompetent?
Because I was 20, she was 40, and I didn't know how to proceed.
Okay.
Essentially.
What's your worst bathroom experience?
Flooding somebody's toilet when... how do I say this? I went on a road trip with a friend and visited their family, and I flooded their toilet.
Because you plugged it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was pretty bad.
And it overflowed?
It did.
Oh.
And it leaked into the basement and onto their boxes of photos. So that was pretty bad.
That's awful.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. Was it a good friend?
Pretty good friend.
Yeah. How did that go down? Like, how did you fix that situation?
I called him in and I said, "Hey, this this toilet's overflowing. I need your help." So he came in and he helped.
All right. Was the family very upset?
Yeah, we were staying with them. They weren't happy about it, but the photos weren't damaged. Luckily, they got to them in time.
How long did you have to stay with them?
One
after
more
this? Did you just want to hang your head?
I wanted to leave right then,
Oh, that's awful.
especially because they had earlier said you should use the downstairs bathroom.
And you didn't listen?
Yeah, I guess I didn't listen.
What's the most hilarious thing you've told your kid and they believed?
I can't think of anything that I've told my kids that's hilarious that they would believe. But younger brother Robin here, he used to ask me math questions, like what's 500,846,012 times 842, and I would say a number, and he'd look at mom, and he'd say, "Is that true, mom?" And mom would say, "Yes, of course it's true," and he would believe that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's do an example.
Yeah, let's not.
No? Oh, come on.
Top or bottom?
Of what?
Sexual position.
I like both.
If you could only do top or bottom for the rest of your life.
Top.
Why top?
More control.
That's interesting when we talked about other stuff earlier, about how you like to give other people control
In certain things.
in certain things. So sexually, you like to be in control.
Yeah, I do. I don't mind it. If I'm tired, I will let them be in control.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's one area of your life where you can actually insert control?
Is that a sexual innuendo?
Not specifically. It worked well.
Yes, it did.
It wasn't specifically meant to be that way.
Yes.
So you, not necessarily taking out your frustration,
No.
but being able to take control in a specific situation, seeing that you feel that you normally can't take control in most situations
Most of the time, I don't want to take control.
because you think other people have it more figured out than you.
Yeah.
But you feel like you've got the sexual aspect figured out more than other people.
No. I don't think I have anything figured out. No, I would not presume to go that far.
What was your lowest moment, and what did you consider doing to get out of it?
Oh, that was when the first time Trish and I split up. And I felt like life was over. And I was heading back home. And we weren't together. And I had spent some time in the Sioux. And I thought, how am I going to get out of this? I'm going to drive right into that transport right there. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's ridiculous. And so I didn't.
I'm sure the transport driver appreciates that.
But he doesn't know.
Well, he appreciates that you didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
I think we all appreciate that you didn't do it.
Well, I appreciate that you appreciate that I'm still here.
I do. Thank
Aw, thanks.
Do you wipe from the front to back or back to front?
Don't ask me that. I'm not going to put that in here.
Okay. How many letters have you held up to the light to try and sneak a peek?
A few. Not too often, but randomly.
Does it ever work?
No.
What's your favorite person or house on your delivery route?
Oh, that would be Trish. Because I deliver to my ex's house, and sometimes I stop in to go pee. So it's very convenient.
Is there a particular mailbox that you like the most? Like it's
architecture?
Architecturally speaking.
that you're passionate about? Is there a particular house that you deliver to that you're passionate about in terms of architecture?
Not particularly.
No? Is there a particular mailbox that's easier to use at a particular house?
I don't know. I don't think about it that much.
Is there a yard that you like the most?
There's yards that I don't like, or stairs that I don't like going up.
Is there a house that has a really pleasant color that you like delivering to?
No, not particularly.
Is there a particular easy to walk up and down driveway or anything around that?
Honestly, I don't think about it that much.
Is there a particular route that you like the most?
No.
Is there a particular temperature you like delivering papers in?
14 degrees and overcast with a slight breeze.
Narrow that down.
That's very specific.
It is very specific. I know what I like.
Uh-huh. Is there anybody on your mail route that is always home and says something to you?
No.
No. Does anybody tip you at Christmas time?
Very few and far between. There's a couple. There's other routes that get better tips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's the best mail tip you've been given?
$25 coffee card.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
not
pretty
bad.
nice.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I got $40 one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. Does anybody ever leave water out for you while you're delivering?
Not on this route, they don't. On other routes that I've had, yes.
Yeah.
But on my route, it's one of the worst.
Oh, okay.
I don't get water, I don't get tips.
Is there a particular route that is more scenic?
Well, they've changed all the routes in the last few years, and I haven't done any of the other ones, so I can't say.
What's your best mail delivering day experience?
I don't tend to remember my days once they're done. The shorter, the better.
Have you ever lost a piece of mail on purpose?
Not on purpose.
But you have lost mail?
I have lost parcels. They fell out of the bag, and then I couldn't find them again.
Ooh, do you get in trouble for that?
No, you don't say anything.
What popular Star Trek character would you have killed off and why?
I can't think of anything.
Is there a particular Star Trek character that you don't care for that you would like to write off the series?
Well, which series? Now you gotta
The
go
Next
into-
Generation. Any point in the series you would have written a character off.
No, not really. I'm glad they got rid of Pulaski.
I don't know what that means.
She was the replacement doctor in season 2.
Okay.
Yes. But then they brought the original back.
Oh.
And all was well.
Okay. Excellent. So more than just you didn't like that person.
Yes.
The one person you would trip if a bear was chasing you.
The lady that I threw the cheese in the dryer of.
It's reasonable. What keeps you up at night?
music.
Yeah, Robin's music when he plays it.
Well, what do you really think about when you go to bed? What are your thoughts?
Entropy and the heat death of the universe.
For real?
No. But it would make a cool band name. Now playing Entropy and the Heat Death of the Universe.
Sure.
Live in concert. This week only. No, nothing keeps me up at night. I fall asleep pretty well. It's staying asleep that's the problem.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
What's your favorite number?
7.
What's your favorite fragrance?
Lilac.
What's your favorite cereal?
I don't eat cereal.
What's your favorite toast?
What? Cinnamon toast.
What is your favorite dinner?
Mom's cabbage rolls.
What is your favorite way to eat eggs?
Wink ice.
What is your favorite restaurant?
Perkins.
What is your favorite meal at Perkins?
Omelets.
What is your favorite song?
I was going to ask that one. If you have to narrow it down, number 1.
A Horse with No Name by America.
What is your favorite band?
Collective Soul.
What is your favorite movie?
Con Air.
What is your favorite movie series?
Lord of the Rings.
What is your favorite show?
Babylon 5.
What is your favorite television series?
Star Trek.
What is your favorite episode?
Parallels.
Right. We covered that.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
What is your favorite granola bar?
The one I'm eating.
What is your favorite girl's name?
Svetlana.
What is your favorite card game?
Cards Against Humanity.
What is your favorite board game?
Risk.
What is your favorite fragrance? Did I ask that?
Lilac.
Right.
Do you believe
In magic?
No. Parallel universes, the multiverse theory?
I'd like to believe it.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
I think so.
What's your scariest ghost experience?
I don't have one.
Where do you think you saw a ghost?
On Market Street in the grandparents' house.
Elaborate.
I was 5. I don't remember.
What was your worst university grade
Seven.
and or subject?
I can't remember. I don't remember.
Who do you most like to be like?
You.
Aw, thanks.
No. Who would I most like to be like? I don't know. I don't have any role models.
Is there a trait that Robin possesses that you wish you had?
His ability to go into any situation and not seem fearful.
Is there a trait that one of mine that you wish you had?
Your ability to carry on conversations with random people about anything.
Is there a trait that you would like to get rid of in yourself?
Yes.
Which is?
My fear of confrontation.
And what is it about confrontation that startles you?
The fact that I don't always know what to say and how to handle myself. I'm not quite sure what I would do if I ever let myself lose control.
Oh, what do you think you might do?
Go crazy and just wail on them.
Have you ever thought about becoming an MMA fighter?
I have not.
Have you ever hit a baseball?
I have.
Have you ever hit a home run?
Maybe.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
What is if you were forced to watch a sporting event on television? What would you choose?
Well, I have watched sporting events on television.
Okay,
And I'm okay with it.
which one?
I have watched football. I have watched basketball. I have watched baseball. I have watched hockey. I've watched wrestling.
What's your most preferred sport to watch on television?
Probably wrestling.
Wrestling. Okay. It's not a sport, but I'll let that one go.
It's sports-like.
It is. It's
They're athletic.
sports entertainment.
They do have to be athletic.
Yes, they do. In person, what would you most like to watch if you were forced to?
To go to a game, if I was
go to
forced
a
to go to
game.
a game, what would I like to watch?
Mhm.
Baseball's boring, so probably not that. I don't understand football even a little bit, so not that. I'd have to go to a hockey game.
Can you name 2 teams in hockey that you would like to see play?
Yes. The 1986 Calgary Flames. Is that right?
Well, Calgary Flames is right, but
Is it-
you can't say 1986.
All right. Probably the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay. Huh. Can you name one player currently playing on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Matt Sundin?
No.
No. No, I can't.
Can you name one player playing on Edmonton Oilers right now?
Also, no.
Wow. Okay. So here's the interesting thing about the 2 teams that you just selected.
Uh-huh.
So you selected the Oilers and you selected Toronto.
Yeah.
So Toronto has one of the hottest young centers going right now.
Okay.
Named Austin Matthews.
All right.
He
I've never heard that name.
He was drafted first overall last year.
All right.
Performed very well.
Good.
Rookie of the year.
Nice.
Scored over 60 points.
Is that good?
Very good for,
Alright.
for a rookie especially.
Okay.
Actually makes Toronto exciting to watch right now.
Oh, good.
They've not been exciting for a good number of years.
Right.
So the Edmonton Oilers have a center named Connor McDavid.
Okay. Sounds very Scottish.
It does, but he's a Canadian boy.
All right.
He is very young, 21 years old.
Mhm.
Was named the youngest captain
All right.
ever on an NHL team. And he's dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite. Can control the game
Okay.
type of thing.
Right.
Will win them a Stanley Cup
Nice.
in the next few years. So one of the hottest, newest stars to come out of hockey. So you pick 2 teams that have 2 of the better up-and-coming players.
So what you're saying is I know how to pick them.
You know how to pick them.
Yeah.
So I
Awesome.
just think it's interesting that you chose those 2 teams, not knowing that those 2 players were on those 2
Well,
teams.
good for me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good job. So if you get a chance to see that, go.
I will.
Because it will be a good game. What's your favorite brand of Pringles or flavor of Pringles?
Probably original.
What's your favorite chip?
Miss Vicky's.
Miss Vicky's? A flavor?
Original.
Original. Pretty plain Jane guy?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? What is something that I did to you in our childhood that you've never forgiven me for?
I don't think there is anything. I don't tend to carry resentments, so that's one good thing I have going for me. Mostly because I can't remember them. So.
Absolutely. Were you ever jealous of me?
Yeah, that's why we didn't get along for all these years.
What was it that made you jealous of me?
I don't think anything in particular, just the fact that you existed. Really, I was the firstborn, and then you came along and took the attention away.
So there's one time in our lives that really sticks out to me.
Okay.
As a time that I felt really bad for you.
All right.
And I just want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So in our father's yard.
Yeah.
It was wintertime.
Okay.
And
is that when I jumped off the roof and
yes.
landed in the snow up to my waist?
Yes, and then I jumped off the roof and got stuck.
Yeah.
First you jumped off the roof, got stuck, called for your dad.
Yeah.
He didn't come.
Yeah.
I jumped off the roof.
Yeah.
Got stuck. He came.
Yeah.
He unburied me.
Yeah.
And then he threw the shovel to you.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that?
I probably would have called him all kinds of nasty names in my head and not been impressed.
You probably would have? Or you did? Or...
Well, that's a long time ago, but I imagine I did.
Yeah. Did that leave a mark on your life at all, or did you quickly get over that and move along?
I didn't even remember about the throwing of the shovel until you just told me. I just remember being stuck.
Okay.
I didn't even remember how I got out of there, actually.
You really do have a bad memory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because nothing matters. I don't care. I don't hold on to the details. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the conversation that we had somewhere near the end of July. I think it might have been like the 26th or 7th of July. Lots of fun we had. The best part was, of course, meeting the guy who looked like me. That was very different. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained some insight into who I am. If you want to leave an email, that would be great. It's soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. If you'd care to share the links with your friends, that's great as well. But anyway, thanks for sticking by and listening to the whole thing. I know it was a lot longer than most episodes, but it had a lot of different information. So just want to say have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. And remember, be thankful for what you are now, and keep working toward what you want to become tomorrow. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Soul Forge. I hope you found some value in it. To contact the show, please email soulforgepodcast@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at soulforgepod. We are Soulforge Podcast on Facebook, and you can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. Please spread the Soulforge word by rating and reviewing us in iTunes and by telling everyone you know. Thanks for stopping by the Forge.